Hey guys! Another check-in means another week of movies that I saw that I would recommend to you, my friends. And luckily, I saw 3 movies this week. So if you are an indecisive person, like myself, I have 3 options for you, ranging from sweet and thoughtful to, oh my god, what the hell is going on? Okay, so the first movie that I saw this week that I highly recommend is called Chasing the Present. And this one is a fantastic companion piece to Netflix's The Social Dilemma, if you've seen that. I'm sure you've heard of it if you haven't seen it yet, which basically tells how society is just crumbling under social media and our phones. I've described it as the best horror film of 2020, which I think is sadly very, very accurate. Chasing the Present is a nice counterbalance to The Social Dilemma because it follows this man who goes on a spiritual journey to understand the root cause of his problem and his mental illness and anxiety. Along the way, he meets with gurus and healers and spiritual teachers who help him understand that it is the ego that's hurting and not himself. And, the bigger question, who are you? What is our purpose here? And only we know the answer to that. I've studied Buddhism for a long time. Just getting personal, I love that realm of spirituality, the idea of impermanence and non-attachment. I find so fascinating. And so if you're interested in learning more about spirituality and the practice of mindfulness and more about the ego and how we need to control that to truly live happy, content lives, I highly recommend Chasing the Present. That is currently available to rent on iTunes and a couple other platforms, I think Vimeo as well. The next film that I'm going to talk about comes out today, Friday, and I absolutely loved this movie. The film is called Dick Johnson is Dead. It premiered at Sundance, and I knew Kirsten Johnson from her documentary Camera Person that came out a couple years ago. The way that she is able to capture everyday moments and slice them together, put them in a neatly compact 1.5 hour film, it's unlike any other. She just blows my mind. Dick Johnson is Dead. How do I describe this? Basically, it tells a story of her processing the soon-to-be death of her dad. But her dad is alive, and her dad participates in all of these crazy ways that he could die. He is the sweetest man, and I have an affinity for elderly people. I just think that the older generation, they're the key to life and understanding the meaning of life. They've lived it. Their stories are incredible. I loved this movie so much. There are so many scenarios where she pictures her dad dying in the most obscure, obscene ways, and he is such a trooper as he participates in these really silly kind of vignettes. But the whole film isn't silly. It isn't one of those, 101 ways to die types of films. She gets deep. She talks to her dad about his struggle with losing his memory and forgetting important events. Honestly, without memories, who are we? That's what makes us unique are the memories that we have and hold and store and keep forever and pass down. And when those are gone, who are you? Kirsten really touches on that, and the bond between her and her father is so special. It honestly brought tears to my eyes many times, which I know isn't hard to do. If you've read my reviews, you know that I tend to cry in movies, but this was fully warranted. Just the smile on his face seeing his daughter make a documentary about him and him realizing that, I'm nearing the end of my life. I'm starting to lose my memory, but I'm just so thankful for this moment, and I'm so thankful that I'm here right now. It kind of going back to Chasing the Present, it has a lot to do with that, just being grateful for the moment. You can't worry or stress about the things that haven't happened yet, or that even are happening now. If you can't change them, what's the point of worrying about them? If we were to worry about every little thing that passes through us on a daily basis, oh man, would we be just so wiped at the end of the day. That's a whole nother topic. But If you're looking for a lighthearted slash lovable slash really poignant documentary, I highly recommend Dick Johnson is Dead. Not The Death of Dick Long, which I sometimes confuse. That's a very different movie. Don't watch The Death of Dick Long if you're expecting to watch Dick Johnson is Dead. You will be in for a very wild ride. And the third and final film I saw this week, because I was a very busy girl, is Brandon Cronenberg, David Cronenberg's son, his debut film, Possessor. And just like his dad, this one is very shocking, very gory. I went to bed and I will say I did have a nightmare, so I think it worked. So right off the bat, Possessor is a thrilling sci-fi horror film. Possessor tells the story of this woman who works for a company, and the whole goal of this company, the whole reason why it exists, is because high-paying clients go to them and their technology is able to implant secret agents into the brains of everyday normal people, and the agents are able to control and take over the brains of these victims. And the end goal is so that these victims with no control of their own end up assassinating people. This company mind controls these unsuspecting people to then kill people. So it's kind of this third-party assassination. Andrea Riseborough plays the main assassin who works for this company, and she's fantastic. She is one of the most underrated actors of our time. Everything that she does, she fully commits. She is so believable, and in this role, it's no different. Her mind gets implanted, and her brain and her willpower gets implanted into the brain and physical body of Christopher Abbott. Another phenomenal performance. This company will infiltrate the mind of their victim, kind of like a parasite. However, the twist in this movie is that the battle of wills happens. Christopher Abbott's character isn't fully possessed. The film relies so much on Christopher Abbott's performance because he is still his character, not wanting to do these assassinations because he is still a good guy. He still has a conscience and he doesn't want to be doing that. But Andrea Riseborough's character does. So these two minds are just at odds, pushing and pulling each other throughout the film. Who was really who? Possessor is available to stream today on Friday, distributed by Neon, so go check it out, support your indie films and filmmakers, because now is the best time to be doing that, as we all know. I know it's been playing at some drive-in theaters, which that would be a really, really fun drive-in movie. So if you've got a hot date, I recommend Possessor, because when it gets all creepy, you can just kind of, cuddle up and be like, are you okay, babe? And yeah, it's fun. So those were the 3 movies that I saw this week. I hope you find 1 to 3 of these titles interesting. If you have any more questions or want to talk more about these films, I would absolutely love to. I don't want to, bombard and make this video hours long, but these are topics that I genuinely am very interested in. I love mindfulness in movies and what's the bigger picture? What can we take away from something? And if you want to have a discussion about that or talk about that more in detail, drop a comment, send me a DM. I would love to talk about movies with you because that is one of my favorite things in the world to do, as I'm sure you could have guessed by now. So thank you for watching, and we will catch you next week. Bye.